Do you want to learn Microsoft Excel, but every time you open it, it just looks confusing? Don't worry. In the next few minutes, you're going to go from "what is this" to "wow, I can actually do this." Excel is one of the most powerful tools used in offices, businesses, and even schools, and once you master it, you'll be amazed how much time and effort you can save. In this video, I'll guide you step by step through everything you need to know, from understanding what Excel is, to entering data, using formulas, and creating your first chart. So stay with me till the end, because by the time we're done, you'll be confident enough to create your own Excel sheets like a pro, even if you've never used it before. Let's get started with our Microsoft Excel tutorial for beginners. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program used to store data, organize information, perform calculations, create charts and graphs, analyze data. When you open Excel, you'll see Worksheet or Grid area, where you enter data. It's made of rows having numbers and columns having letters. Ribbon. The toolbar at the top includes different tabs like Home tab, Insert tab, Page Layout tab, Formulas tab, etc. is called Ribbon. Name box. It displays the address of the selected cell like A1. Sheet tabs. At the bottom shows the Sheets tab. Here we can add new sheets by pressing plus sign. Formula bar. This is the most important part of Excel, where it shows the content or formula in the selected cell. When you open Microsoft Excel, the first thing you'll see is the Welcome screen. Let's take a moment to understand what's here. On the left panel, you'll notice three main options: Home, New, and Open. These help you quickly start a new project or open existing files. At the top section, Excel displays a blank workbook option along with several ready-made templates. These templates are designed for common tasks such as budgeting, attendance sheets, invoices, and more, so you don't always have to start from scratch. In the Home section, you can also view your recently opened files, which makes it easy to continue your previous work. Just below that, there's a link labeled More Templates. When you click on it, Excel will open an extended gallery of templates you can explore. At the top of this window, you'll find a search bar where you can type in keywords to find specific templates. For example, you can search for Project Planner or Monthly Budget. And if you ever want to go back to the main screen, simply click back in the top left corner. For now, let's keep things simple. I'll go ahead and select the blank workbook so we can explore the Excel interface together. This is the main screen of Microsoft Excel, and what you're looking at right now is called the Worksheet. The Worksheet is the large grid area where we'll enter and organize data. This grid is made up of two main parts: columns and rows. Columns are labeled with alphabets, like column G, column E, and column C. Rows are numbered, such as row 5, row 7, row 10, and row 15. Where a column and a row intersect, we get a small box. This is called a cell. Every cell in Excel has its own unique address, known as the cell reference. If you look at the name box, which is located just above the worksheet, you'll see the name of the currently selected cell. For example, right now I've selected the cell in column F and row 9, so the name box shows F9. If you click on any other cell, you'll notice that the name in the name box changes automatically, showing you the reference of the new cell you've selected. At the very top of Excel window, you'll see the toolbar. This is called the ribbon. In the ribbon you'll find most of the tools and commands you'll use while working in Excel. The ribbon is divided into several tabs, and each tab contains a different set of commands. For example, you'll find the Home tab, Insert tab, Draw tab, Page Layout tab, Formulas tab, etc. Now, let's click on the Home tab. Here, you can see that the commands are organized into different groups, and each group is separated by a thin gray line. For instance, the alignment group controls how your text or numbers are positioned inside a cell. But sometimes, not all commands can fit within this space. That's why you'll notice a small launch button in the corner of certain groups. If you click the Launch button in the Alignment group, a dialog box will appear showing more detailed options for alignment. The same applies to the Font group. Clicking its Launch button will open a dialog box with additional font settings. At the bottom of your Excel window, you'll notice a set of Sheet tabs. The sheet that's currently active is named Sheet 1 by default. You can add more sheets simply by clicking the plus icon next to the Sheet tabs. Each new sheet will appear alongside the others, and together, all of these sheets collectively called a workbook. If you want to switch to another sheet, just click on its name tab, and Excel will instantly take you to that sheet. This is especially useful when you're working with multiple sets of data in the same file. Now, look toward the bottom right corner of your Excel window. Here you'll find the zoom bar. You can zoom in by clicking and dragging the slider to the right, and zoom out by dragging it to the left. Another quick method is by holding down the Control key on your keyboard and using your mouse scroll wheel. Scroll up to zoom in, and scroll down to zoom out. Just to the left of the zoom bar, you'll see the Sheet View buttons. These include Normal View, Page Layout View, and Page Break Preview. Normal View is the default and most commonly used. Page Layout View shows how your sheet will look when printed. Page Break Preview helps you manage where your pages will break before printing. These tools make navigating and managing your Excel workbook much easier and more efficient. On the right side of your Excel window, you'll find the vertical scroll bar. You can click and drag it downward to move down the worksheet, or drag it upward to move back up. This is helpful when you're working with large sets of data that don't fit on one screen. Just above the zoom bar, at the bottom of the window, there's also a horizontal scroll bar. You can use it to scroll left or right across your worksheet. Now, just above the worksheet area, to the right of the name box, you'll see one of the most important parts of Excel, the formula bar. The formula bar displays the content of the selected cell, whether it's plain data, a formula, or a function. If you select a cell that contains a formula, you'll see the exact formula here, even if the cell itself shows only the result. At the very top of the window, you'll notice the Quick Access toolbar. This toolbar provides easy access to some of Excel's most frequently used commands, such as save, undo, and redo. At the end of the Quick Access toolbar, you'll see a small arrow icon. Clicking this arrow allows you to customize the toolbar. You can add or remove commands based on what you use most often. This is a great way to personalize Excel and make your workflow faster and more efficient. At the very top right corner of your Excel window, you'll find the window control buttons. The first one is the Close button, represented by a small X. Clicking this will close the Excel application completely. Next to it, you'll see the Maximize and Restore Down buttons. When you click Maximize, Excel expands to fill your entire screen, giving you more space to work. If you click the same button again, it will restore the window to its smaller size, so you can easily move or resize it. The third button is the Minimize button. Clicking this will hide your workbook and send it down to the taskbar, allowing you to return to your desktop or switch to another program without closing Excel. Now, in this session, let's learn how to enter data in Microsoft Excel. To begin, simply click on the cell where you want to type your data. I'll start by selecting cell A1. Now, type ID, this will be our first column heading. To move to the next column on the right, just press the Tab key on your keyboard. In this cell, type name, this will be the second heading. Next, we'll create a column for wages. So, again press Tab to move to the next cell, and type wages per hour. Once more, press Tab to move to the right, and type worked hours. Finally, press Tab again, and in the next cell, type taxable salary. And that's how easily you can enter your first row of data headings in Excel. Each tab press moves you one cell to the right, allowing you to quickly create your table structure in a clean and organized way. Here's something very useful to know: when you press the Tab key, Excel moves your selection one cell to the right. But if you hold the Shift key and then press Tab, Excel moves your selection one cell to the left. To move downward, simply press Enter. Let's try that. Type 1 in the first cell, then press Enter to move down. Now type 2, press Enter again. Type 3, and once more press Enter. Oh, looks like I accidentally typed 5 instead of 4, no problem. To move upward, hold the Shift key and press Enter. Now I'm back in the previous cell, and I can easily correct it to 4. Then press Enter again to move down and continue. Now, imagine you want to create a list of 30 IDs, typing each one manually would take too long. Luckily, Excel gives us a great feature called AutoFill. Here's how it works. First, click and drag to select the 4 cells we just filled, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, look carefully at the bottom right corner of your selection, you'll see a small square called the fill handle. Now, move your cursor over that small square, the fill handle, and click and drag it downward. Excel will automatically continue the number sequence for you, creating a complete and perfectly ordered list of IDs in just a few seconds. This simple trick saves a lot of time and helps keep your data clean, accurate, and consistent. Next, let's start entering the names for each ID. Click on the first ID cell, then press the Tab key to move to the cell on the right. Here, type the name according to your data, and then press Enter. Now, notice something interesting. When we press Enter, Excel doesn't move just one cell down, it actually moves one cell down and one cell to the left. That's because when we pressed Tab earlier, we moved from cell A2 to cell B2. So when you now press Enter, Excel continues from that reference point and moves downward from column A, returning to the leftmost column of your data entry area. Understanding this movement pattern will really help you enter data faster and more efficiently. Now, let's continue entering our names. Press the Tab key and type the second name from your data list. Then press Enter, followed by Tab again to move to the right position, and keep typing the next names one by one. Here's something interesting. As I start typing the next name, notice that when I type the first letter, for example S, Excel automatically shows a suggestion based on previous entries. If the suggested text matches what you want to type, simply press Enter to accept it, but if it doesn't match, just keep typing your data normally. Now, if you prefer the Enter key to move the selection straight down one cell, there's a simple trick. Just press the down arrow key once to position your cursor correctly, and then start typing your data. From this point onward, whenever you press Enter, Excel will move directly one cell down, making your data entry process much smoother and faster. Now, let's move on to entering some numeric data. Click just below the heading, Wages per Hour, and type the value, let's say 12, or any value you prefer, then press Enter. Next, select that same cell again. Now click at Drag handle, then drag it downward, and Excel will automatically copy the same value into all the selected cells below. This is a quick and easy way to repeat identical values in your sheet. Now, let's do the same for the hours worked column. Click the cell just below the heading and type 130, then press Enter. Select that cell again, but this time hold down the Control key on your keyboard, then click and drag the fill handle downward. Notice the difference? By holding Control, Excel doesn't just copy, it actually increments each value by 1. So, instead of repeating 130, it will fill the column with 131, 132, 133, and so on. This feature is especially useful when you need to create a progressive number series, like IDs, quantities, or any type of running data. In this session, you may have noticed how Excel responds when we press different keys during data entry. When we press the Enter key, our selection moves one cell down. If we hold the Shift key and then press Enter, our selection moves one cell up. Similarly, when we press the Tab key, Excel moves our selection one cell to the right. Now, here's a quick question for you. In the comments below, tell me, when you want your selection to move one cell to the left, which key should you use? Go ahead and drop your answer in the comments. This little exercise will help you remember these movement shortcuts easily, and make your navigation in Excel much faster and smoother. In this session, we're going to apply some basic arithmetic functions in Excel, using the data we've already entered in our worksheet. First, let's make our sheet a bit easier to read. You might notice that some of our headings aren't fully visible. For example, the text in the first row looks a bit cut off. To fix this, we'll simply increase the column width. Click on column A, then drag your cursor to the right to select all columns up to column E. Now, move your mouse to the line between any two column letters. You'll see the cursor change its shape into a double-headed arrow. Just double-click on that separator line, and Excel will automatically adjust the column widths to perfectly fit the text in each heading. That's called AutoFit column width, and it's a quick way to keep your worksheet neat and readable. Next, type in all your staff names under the name column. To save some time, I've already entered them in my worksheet. Now, let's perform a simple calculation. Click on the cell just below the heading Taxable Salary. Here, type the equal sign. Remember, every formula in Excel always starts with an equal sign. Now type 130, plus sign, then type 12, and then press Enter. You'll immediately see the result. Excel has added the two numbers and displayed their total in that cell. However, there's one important thing to understand here. If you later change any of the values in cell C2 or cell D2, the result will not update automatically. That's because we manually type the numbers, not the actual cell references. To make the formula dynamic, we'll use cell references instead of typing numbers. So, click on the same cell again, type the equal sign, then type D2, plus sign, then type C2, and press Enter. Now the result looks the same, but there's a big difference. This time, Excel is adding the values from the cells themselves. So, if you ever change the number in either D2 or C2, the total in your taxable salary cell will update automatically. This is the real power of Excel formulas. They make your data interactive, accurate, and easy to update without retyping anything. Now, let's explore how Excel formulas work when we use cell references instead of typing reference manually. Click on the cell E3, and type the equal sign. This time, instead of typing the cell name, simply click on the first cell you want to include in your calculation. Notice Excel automatically writes its cell reference for you. Now type the plus sign, then click on the second cell you want to add. Press Enter. Excel instantly calculates the sum. Now, select the cells and press the Delete key to clear them. Let's try a subtraction formula this time. Type the equal sign again, then use your arrow keys to select the first cell reference, type the minus sign, and use the arrow keys again to select the second cell reference. Hit Enter, and Excel will show you the difference between those two values. The great thing about using cell references is that if you change any value in the cells used by your formula, the result updates automatically. Alright, now that we've practiced using some basic arithmetic formulas in Excel, let's see how well you've understood them. Here's a quick question for you. If you've understood the basic arithmetic functions in Excel, then tell me in the comments section below, what formula would you write if you want to divide 130 by 15 in the first row, right below your headings? Now, here's the most useful part for our data. We can calculate the taxable salary by multiplying wages per hour and hours worked. To do this, select the cell under the taxable salary heading, type the equal sign, then click on cell C2, wages per hour, as your first reference. Now type the asterisk, which is the multiplication sign, and then click on cell D2, hours worked, as your second reference. Press Enter, and Excel will display the total taxable salary for that employee. To apply the same formula to all the rows below, simply move your cursor to the bottom right corner of the cell, over the fill handle, and click and drag it down. Excel automatically copies the formula for each row, adjusting the cell references as it goes. This is how easily you can perform automatic calculations for your entire data set, saving time and ensuring accuracy across all entries. Now, let's take a closer look at how Excel automatically updates formulas when we copy them down. Double-click on cell E2, and you'll see the formula, C2 multiplied by D2. Now, double-click on cell E3, and notice the formula has changed to C3 multiplied by D3. If you double-click on the cells below, you'll see the same pattern. Excel has automatically updated all the cell references as the formula was copied down. This happens because the references we're using are called relative references. Relative references adjust automatically based on their position. A little later in this tutorial, I'll show you how to use absolute references, which work differently. Now, go ahead and type in all your remaining data. To save some time, I've already entered the complete dataset by pausing the video. As you can see, all the values are now in place. Next, click and drag the fill handle to apply the same formula to all the remaining cells in the taxable salary column. Notice that in the last cell, the references have automatically updated again. That's the power of relative referencing. Now, let's move on and calculate the tax amount. Click the cell next to your taxable income heading and type tax amount as the new heading. If needed, double-click the column separator at the top to auto-adjust the column width. In the next column, type another heading, tax rate, and enter the tax rate you want to apply. For example 0.07 or any rate according to your requirement. Now we're ready to calculate the tax amount. Select the cell just below the tax amount heading, type the equal sign, then select cell E2, this is your taxable income. Type the asterisk sign for multiplication, and then use your arrow keys to move to the cell containing the tax rate. Finally, press Enter, and Excel will instantly calculate the tax amount for you. Now, let's apply our formula to all the rows. Click and drag the fill handle from the first cell downward to apply the function to the entire column. But here's something interesting. Notice that only the top cell shows a correct value, while all the other cells are showing 0. Why did that happen? It's because we're still using relative references. Let's double-click on the first cell. Here you can see the formula is E2 multiplied by H1. Now double-click the cell just below it. Notice how the references have automatically updated to E3 multiplied by H2. And if we scroll down to the last cell, you'll see the formula has changed again. This time it shows E16 multiplied by H15. Now think about this, the taxable income reference should change for each employee, that part is correct. But the tax rate reference should always stay the same, because we only have one fixed rate for all. That's where absolute references come in. To convert a relative reference into an absolute reference, double-click the first cell again to edit the formula. Now, place your cursor right before the H in the tax rate reference, and type a $$ symbol. This will lock the column. Then type another $$ symbol before the row number 1, this will lock the row. Your formula should now show the tax rate as $H1. Press Enter, and the formula is now set to always use that fixed tax rate, no matter where you copy it. Now click and drag the fill handle again to apply the formula to all cells. This time, every cell will calculate correctly, because the taxable income reference changes for each row, while the tax rate stays constant. That's the power of absolute referencing. It keeps specific cell values fixed while allowing the rest of your formula to update automatically. Now let's move on to find the net income, that's the income after deducting tax. To do this, we first need a new column before the tax amount column. Simply right-click on column G, and from the menu, choose Insert. Excel will instantly add a new column in that position. Now here's something really smart. If you double-click on any cell in the tax amount column, you'll notice that Excel has automatically updated all the cell references to match the new column positions. Now, click on the top cell of the new column and type the heading Net Income, then hit Enter. Next, let's calculate the net income. Select cell and type an equal sign. Now, select cell E2, which holds the taxable income, then type a minus sign, and select cell F2, which contains the tax amount. Press Enter. Excel calculates the net income by subtracting the tax from the taxable income. Finally, click and drag the fill handle from the corner of the cell downward to apply the formula to all rows. Now, when we select multiple cells together, that selection is called a series or a range in Excel. Here you can see that the first cell in our selection is D2, and the last cells in our selection is D31. We can say, we have selected cells from D2 through D31. But when we write this in an Excel formula, we use a colon for through. So we write it as D2, D31, meaning all the cells starting from D2 up to D31 are included in this selection. Now let's take another example. Here, J12 is our first cell, and O27 is the last cell in our range. So, in Excel, we'll write this range as J12, for through, O27. This method helps Excel understand exactly which group of cells we're referring to, whether for formulas, formatting, or data analysis. Alright, let's move on to another very important session, functions in Excel. Without understanding functions, you can't truly master Excel. So, let's get started. Click on the cell just below your last data entry. This is where we'll perform our calculation. Now, type an equal sign. Remember, every function in Excel always starts with an equal sign. Next, type sum. Here, you'll notice Excel shows a list of different sum-related functions, like sum, SUMIF, SUMIFs, and more. For now, we'll learn the basic sum function. Select sum from the list and then press the Tab key. Excel will automatically start parentheses, and you'll also see a helpful tooltip showing the function structure, something like, number 1, number 2, number 3. Now, inside the parentheses, let's type our numbers. Type 5, then a comma. Type 4, another comma, and then type 1. Now close the parentheses and press Enter. And there you go. Excel instantly adds all three numbers together and shows you the result. Now, let's take this a step further and see how we can use the sum function to add an entire range of cells. First, select the previous cell where we typed our numbers and simply press the Delete key to clear it. Now type the equal sign, then type sum, press the Tab key. This will start the parentheses. Next, for the range, type D2 as the first cell, then type a colon to represent through, then type D31 as the last cell in the range, close the parentheses and press Enter. And Excel instantly adds all the values from D2 through D31. Let's try another method. Select the next cell. Type equal to sum. Press Tab. And this time, simply click and drag to select the cells you want to add. Once your range is highlighted, close the parentheses and press Enter. Excel will give you the total automatically. But there's an even faster way. Select the cell where you want the total, then go to the Home tab. In the Editing group, click on the AutoSum button. Excel will insert the sum function and detect the range for you. Just hit Enter. Now, let's learn another smart way to use the sum function, by creating a named range. First, select the entire range in your last column. Now, go up to the name box. Click inside it, and type net income, then press Enter. You've just given a name to that entire range. Select the cell where you want to show the total, and type equal to sum. Then start typing net. You'll notice Excel automatically suggests net income. Select it and press the Tab key. Close the parentheses and hit Enter. Excel instantly adds up all the values from your named range. So far, we've learned several different ways to calculate totals, using direct ranges, dragging selections, AutoSum, shortcuts, and now named ranges. Select the cell and type total. This will be our heading. Now select that same cell again, then go to the Home tab, and in the Alignment group, you'll see three alignment options: Align Center, Align Right, and Align Left. Click on Align Right. We need total appears on the right side of the cell. Next, select the cell one row below the total cell, and type highest. Again, select that cell and align the text to the right. Now, in the next cell to the right, let's use a function. Type the equal sign, then type max, and press the Tab key to start the parentheses. Next, select the range, D2 through D31, and then press Enter. Excel will automatically find the highest value within that selected range. And here's the best part: if you change any number in that range, say you increase one value to 141, Excel will instantly update the result for you. Now, click and drag the fill handle to the right to apply the max function across all your columns. Now, let's move forward and learn how to find the lowest and average values from our data. two more essential functions in Excel. First, select the cell right below the highest row, and type lowest. Then press the Tab key to move to the next cell on the right. Now, type the equal sign, then type min, and press the Tab key to start the parentheses. Next, click and drag to select the range, from D2 through D31, and then press Enter. Excel will instantly show the minimum value from that selected range. For example, if the smallest value in that range is 129, Excel will display that number. Now, if you change any value in that range, let's say you type 128, Excel will automatically update the result to reflect the new lowest value. Once done, select the same cell and drag the fill handle to the right to apply the min function across all columns. This way, Excel will find the lowest value for each column automatically. Next, let's calculate the average. Select the cell below the lowest row, and type average. Press the Tab key to move to the next cell, then type equal to AV, and from the list that appears, select the average function. Press the Tab key again to start the parentheses, then click and drag to select the same range, from D2 through D31. Close the parentheses and press Enter. Excel will now calculate and display the average value of that range. Finally, click and drag the fill handle to the right to apply the same function to all other columns. And that's how easily you can find the lowest and average values in Excel, giving you quick insights into your data with just a few clicks. Now let's make our worksheet look a little more professional and easier to read. First, select all the headings at the top of your table. Then go to the Home tab, and in the Alignment group, click on Align Right to align all your headings neatly to the right side of their cells. Next, select the range C32 through G35. Now, in the Home tab, under the Font group, click on the bold icon to make this text bold. This helps your totals and summary values stand out clearly. Now, you might notice that when you scroll down, your headings at the top disappear, making it harder to know which column you're looking at. Let's fix that. Click on the Net Income heading to select it, then move one cell down and one cell to the right. Now go to the View tab, and click on Freeze Panes. This will freeze your top headings, so even when you scroll up or down, your column titles remain visible, making your data easier to read and analyze. Next, select the range shown on your screen, and again go to the Home tab. Click Bold to make the text stand out. Here, you can also change the fill color to your favorite shade, maybe a light blue or gray, and even change the font color to make your headings pop. And if you ever make a change that you don't like, just hold the Ctrl key and press C to undo the last command. Press Ctrl+C again to undo one more step. So, with just a few formatting touches and the Freeze Panes feature, your Excel sheet not only looks polished but also becomes much easier to navigate and understand. Now let's explore some really useful formatting tools in Excel that help keep your data clean and professional looking. First, select a few of your top headings and press the Delete key. You'll notice that the text disappears, but the formatting stays the same. That's because the Delete key only removes the content, not the formatting. Now, hold the Ctrl key and press C to undo the change. Next, select the same headings again, then go to the Home tab. In the Editing group, click on the Clear drop-down menu, and choose Clear All. This time, you'll see that both the data and formatting are completely removed from those cells. If you type something now, it will appear in Excel's default style, proving that the formatting was cleared as well. Now, let's undo that action. Hold Ctrl and press C again. Next, select the column labeled Wages per Hour. Go to the Home tab, and in the Number group, click on the drop-down menu. From the list, choose Currency. Instantly, all the numbers in that column will be displayed in a currency format, complete with a currency symbol and 2 decimal places. Now, select the column Taxable Income, and again go to the Number group. This time, choose Accounting from the drop-down list. You'll notice a subtle difference. The accounting format aligns the currency symbols neatly, making your data easier to read. Finally, select both remaining columns, and apply the accounting format to both. And that's it. You've just learned the difference between deleting content and clearing formatting, plus how to professionally display numeric data in currency and accounting styles. These small formatting touches make your Excel sheets look sharp and business-ready. Go back to the Number Format drop-down menu in the Home tab and open it. This time, scroll down and select More Number Formats. A Format Cells dialog box will appear on your screen. Here, you can see a variety of advanced formatting options, such as custom formats, date, time, fraction, and scientific, which we'll discuss in detail later. For now, just click on Cancel to close the dialog box. Next, select the tax rate cell. Then, in the number group, click on the percent sign. This instantly converts the value into percentage format. Now, if you type any new number in the tax rate cell, Excel will automatically display it as a percent, and all related formulas will update accordingly. Now, let's refine the decimal display. Select the taxable income column. In the number group, click on the Decrease Decimal button to reduce the decimal places, or click on Increase Decimal to show more digits if needed. Next, click and drag to select all your data. Then go to the font group, click the Borders drop-down, and choose All Borders. This adds clear, visible borders around every cell, making the data grid easy to read and visually appealing. Now, select the range of cells you want to combine into one. Go to the Alignment group, and click on Merge and Center. This will merge the selected cells and center the text beautifully. Select another range and again click Merge and Center to repeat the process. If you ever need to separate those merged cells, simply open the drop-down under Merge and Center and select Unmerged Cells. And remember, if you ever make a change you don't want, you can always hold the Control key and press Z to undo your last action. Now let's bring some style and structure to your worksheet. Start by selecting the cells you want to format, then head over to the Alignment group on the Home tab. Open the Merge and Center drop-down menu and choose Merge Across. This option will merge the cells in each row individually, very useful when you want to keep headings aligned neatly across their respective data columns. Next, let's focus on the total row. Select it, then go to the font group and pick a fill color that stands out. Choose something that visually separates it as a summary or important line in your data. Now select the second row, or any row you'd like to customize, and apply a different fill color. You can repeat this for other rows or sections of data to help visually separate areas of your spreadsheet and make it easier to read. Let's adjust the font next. Select any group of cells. Then in the font group, click to increase the font size. If you change your mind, press Ctrl+C to undo the last action. You can also change the font style altogether. Open the font list from the Home tab and choose a font that matches your style or report requirements. And again, if it doesn't suit you, Ctrl+C is your friend. Additionally, within the font group, you can apply formatting like bold, italic, underline, or even double underline, depending on what you want to emphasize. Finally, feel free to experiment with fill colors and font colors. Whether you're designing a professional sheet or simply making your spreadsheet more readable, Excel gives you full control over how your data looks. Now start by selecting all the columns. Simply click and drag across the top of your sheet. Once selected, go to the Editing group in the Home tab. Open the Clear drop-down menu and choose Clear Formats. Instantly, all the formatting you've applied to your data is removed, but don't worry, your content is still safe. If you changed your mind, just hold the Control key and press Z to undo. Next, let's convert this data range into an Excel table. Press Ctrl+A to select all the data, or manually click and drag through the range. Then press Ctrl+T. Make sure the option My Table Has Headers is checked, then click OK. And there you go, your data is now structured as a table. Notice how the merged cells have been unmerged again as part of this process. That's normal. Now, let's fix the appearance. Select the heading cells, go back to the Home tab, and choose Align Left in the Alignment group. This makes sure each heading is fully visible. Now look closely, each column header has a small drop-down arrow. This opens a powerful tool for filtering your data. For example, click the drop-down menu in the Wages per Hour column. Uncheck Select All, then check only the value 12. Click OK, and Excel will instantly filter the table, showing only those employees earning $12 per hour. This table feature helps you quickly organize, analyze, and highlight specific information, giving you more control over your data in less time. Now, let's explore how to adjust the filter and view different sets of data. Click on the Filter drop-down in the Wages per Hour column again. This time, uncheck 12 and check only 13. Then click OK. You'll instantly see a filtered list of employees earning $13 per hour. Notice how smoothly Excel reorganizes the data based on your selection. This is one of the most powerful features of Excel tables. You can filter data in any column the same way, allowing you to quickly find exactly what you need, whether it's by wage, hours worked, department, or anything else in your sheet. Once you're done exploring, open the drop-down menu again. This time, select All to clear your filters and bring back the full list of employees. Easy, efficient, and incredibly useful, and now you're in full control of the data you're working with. Now, once your data is ready, select the entire range, then go to the Insert tab. In the Charts group, open More Column Charts, and choose the chart style that suits your analysis. Instantly, Excel will display your information in a clean, clear bar graph, making it much easier to understand and compare values visually. Next, adjust the chart according to your needs. Simply drag the edges to resize it and fit it neatly on your worksheet. At the very top of the chart, you'll see the chart title. Just click on it and rename it to anything you like, such as Salary Comparison or Employee Performance, depending on your data. On the right side, you'll notice a plus symbol icon. Click it to access more chart options, like data labels, axis titles, grid lines, and other elements that can make your chart more informative and visually appealing. And that's it, our first bar graph is complete. If you want to learn more about bar graphs and explore advanced Excel formulas, make sure to check out other videos on my channel. I hope you found this beginner-friendly tutorial useful and that it helps you work in Excel more confidently and efficiently. If you enjoyed this tutorial and learned something valuable, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to keep creating more helpful Excel content for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.